Halloween night. Waiting for trick-or-treaters. It was like 2019 on this night. I first heard loud ear-ringing V2K. It's a quiet whisper now because I learned to ignore it over 4 years or whatever. I mean, I walked around for 3 years going, I don't think the drugs helped, but it was real. And I think it tried to ruin Halloween for me because, like, they know everything about you and they know it was my favorite holiday. Not that I'm like a Satanist or anything. I mean, it's still like Christmas is the best one, but I mean, Halloween's the most fun. Come on, I mean, everybody does this. Oh, it's the devil's day. It's like, hey, it's mostly little kids dressing up in costumes, getting candy. That's mostly what Halloween's about. And I enjoyed handing out candy to the kids. Some of them have pretty cool costumes, even though I notice most of the costumes nowadays are just bought from like Spirit Halloween, which is kind of disappointing because I don't know. When I was a kid, we used to make up our own costumes. I used to wear my dad's suits and stuff. Oh, fuck off! You're a loser. You fucking loser. Get out of here. Jesus, man. Fuck. Obviously, I know that person. Oh, where was I going? Oh, yeah. They're all bought. Well, not him. That was my son, actually. He put his together. He got, a mechanic suit, a onesie suit, and I mean, he got the mask and everything, don't get me wrong, but he still put it together, and then he painted the exact places Michael Myers got shot in the first Halloween. He went all out. He got a little detailed with it. No, I was saying, I used to wear, my father's suits, and then I'd get, a top hat, and I put, a little hole here, and then, a big hole out of the back. And, I mean, I would, sit there and use that putty and that blood and just get it perfect for an entrance hole and an exit hole. And I'd even, get my mom's mascara and pencil in, a burn mark, like they shot me at point-blank range. I was, a mobster that was murdered. I mean, I did that outfit over and over, though. I made it up myself. I did it one Halloween when I worked at 7-Eleven. And an ex-cop came in and told me that he thought it looked too real. He was just like, that's too realistic, man. I veil too much. I guess I could read it out loud, right? That's what everybody does. So I don't. Just for kicks. Because it's Halloween, I yelled to my lady, "Oh my God, it's a werewolf." And when she turned, I showed her my phone. That's good. I bet she was frightened. All right. I got one person. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, man. Oh, come on, kids. I'm getting disappointed. I'm going to start eating their candy pretty soon. That's the one thing I don't like about Halloween. Junk gut. Every year I'm like, oh, man. But yeah, I know I'm supposed to be talking about gangstalking, but to tell you the truth, it's better the less I think about it, honestly. Because I think it's kind of invoke schizophrenia, they make you schizophrenic acting. It's, it's all bullshit. Most of their stuff's bullshit. They're really good. They got me to freak out so bad I just acted crazy for 3 years. And then one day I just kind of stopped and practice not reacting. But I had really bad V2K and stuff. And I don't know. I just learned to stop listening to it, conversing with it, which is really hard when it's loud too, because it's saying all kinds of personal shit. And it's hard not to kind of start listening, but you gotta put on a song or a TV show. It's hard to pay attention. It's weird. You gotta rewire your brain around that crap, man. I mean, it takes time for your brain to actually get to a point where it can kind of get back to ignoring it, because now that I think back on it, they were doing it before I noticed. I just thought it was kind of odd behavior from somebody, I was like, oh, that was odd. What was that about, And then once they got me freaked out and sensitized, I was probably freaking out on people that were actually just had a frog in their throat and started coughing in the mall or something. They're after me, That's what they want you doing. They're after me. I think it was after year 3. I was like, well, they haven't murdered me yet. And they've done some pretty fucking horrible things to me where I was convinced, like, if these people wanted to kill me, they would get away with it because I don't know them. They couldn't tie it, you know? That's what I was scared of, was, you know, getting killed. But year 3, I'm like, well, you know, they haven't killed me yet. I think they kind of tried. But the truth is, I shouldn't have been on a train bridge anyway, right? You know? Now I get to be wheels. But, yeah, they hit me with something that just kind of made me stand there until a train came along. You know, but I can't tell people that story. I have to make up a story like, then I felt the track buckle beneath my feet. And I turned and I saw the train and I tried to jump over. None of that happened. I don't know what the fuck happened. They were like blah, blah, blah in my head. And the next thing I knew, I was like staggering down the trail. The guys yelling at me, sit down, sit down. I don't know how you're alive. Sit down, you know. I sit down. I can't breathe. And, you know, the paramedics who I thought were in on it because they had ambulances drive by with the lights on. I was, you know, like some out of Jacob's Ladder or some shit. You know, they were fucking with me. So, but the EMTs still came and saved my life. You know, they popped a hole in my lung, you know. So I'm eternally grateful to the EMTs. I mean, it's like a reaction I get nowadays. If I see an EMT, man, I'm like, I love you, you know. Because I was petting one of their hairy forearms, thanking him. And that ambulance says, thank you. I mean, this dude had hairier forearms than I did. And he goes, thank you, thank you. Like his forearm was a dog. That's how hairy it was. So I was petting it. Oh, man. That's pretty lame. The only trick-or-treaters I've gotten on this life so far is, like, my own kid. Fucking loser. Comes and gets his own candy. Unbelievable. Man, no dead air. I got to keep talking. That's one thing I'm good at is babbling on and on and on. But I get on live and I'm like, It amazes me, some of these people on these lives. Like, I don't know. I like watching all the gang stalking channels. Not that I agree with every single one of them. Oh, shit. I got comments. Let's see. Plenty of personalities that count. Yes. Yes, that counts. Hi, Bora. Oh, yeah. I have trick-or-treaters all night. I think, like, out here, though, because this is kind of a small community, which I thought moving here would help the stalking when it happened, but actually it's worse in a small community, I swear to God. Like when I was in Reno, like downtown Reno in the barrio, like the stalking was better than when I moved outside of it to this like little bedroom community out here. I mean, Jesus Christ, these fuckers were ruthless, man. And I mean, I still have to talk to them because now some of them have stopped. You know, they stopped one by one, and I still talk to them, and they, you know, it's like nothing ever happened. And I know like some of them were involved, and then sometimes they were dressing up like the people that were involved, you know, to cause confusion. But yeah, it's mostly little kids out here. I think like the big kids all go to Reno or Sparks. What did you want to be when I was little? That's a good one. I think I wanted to be an actor or like director or something like that. I was always really interested in movies. I'm still pretty good at movies. Like once a year I get to go to the college and guest speak on whatever movie I choose for the film class. Yeah, I'm pretty good at like reading into movies, like, you know, looking at the mise en scene and telling you what it means. So they put this object in the background to signify this, you know. Half the time it's just bullshit, but I end up being right. And the film professor likes me, so I don't know. Yeah, I wanted to be involved in movies somehow, I think, when I was little. You know. I'd even make my own like little like rip-off movies, like Dirty Harry and stuff like that, you know. I'd try to dress up like a cool cop, you know. My friends were like the criminals, you know, that kind of thing. And what in your opinion stopped you from pursuing your dream? I think I don't know. I pursued it pretty late. Like it's just a hard thing to get into, man. You know, like, you know, even being like a stage actor at a local theater is not the easiest thing to do. You know, and I had to earn money, so, you know, I had normal jobs, you know. But I mean, I took acting classes and stuff at one time. I don't think it really taught me anything. I got better at playing music in front of audiences, so yeah, that's kind of the thing. I wanted attention, I think, really bad. But yeah, I can still play piano pretty good, and I can't damper pedal so good anymore, but I can a little bit. I'm getting a little bit of that back. But I won't be able to do any fast double pedaling anytime soon. But yeah, I guess and then people telling me like, oh, Hollywood's like this tight knit group you can't break in. You're not that guy. I guess just people telling me that, I don't know, just life. I had to work a normal job, I guess. Oh, God bless you too. Read Ephesians. Oh, hey, how are you doing, Carlton? I like Carlton. I like his channel. Yeah, I was starting to babble about that. If you could do one thing different from your youth, what would it be and why? Nothing. I'm not ashamed of anything I've done. Nothing. I mean, I guess I probably would have tried to get better grades. I don't know. Let's see what we got. Please check out my first post. Important info on the targeting program. Battle for your brain. I think I've watched some of your stuff and I liked it. I will check that out. Definitely. It is a program too. I mean, I don't mind people getting into the spiritual aspect of it, and I believe Jesus is my Lord and Savior. I believe he was a real guy, died on a cross for our sins, was the Son of God. I believe all that. But I don't think it's all just like spiritual warfare. You know what I mean? I think there is an element of like government experimentation, like, I mean, come on, man, And plus, I just don't think like if it was all demonic, why would God let his followers get, just trampled on like that? I don't think so. I think it's these people unfortunately have free will too, so they can do whatever they want. So that's what I think the gist of it is. Well, I thought this would be more interesting. I thought there'd be trick-or-treaters coming up to the door. I didn't really prepare anything to talk about. I just thought, it'd be cool to live stream some trick-or-treaters, I'm going to blow smoke in their face when they come. Yeah, but I don't mind the religious aspect of it. I get it, but I don't know. Just blaming it all on demons seems a little convenient sometimes, It's like, oh, these people are demon-possessed. I'm like, tell you the truth, I don't know if they're any more demon-possessed than you or I would be, I mean, why? I mean, I'm not perfect. I've done some evil stuff in my life. I don't think that I've ever really hurt anybody, though. Or, like, purposely, like, gone out to, like, attack somebody, I mean, I've, like, inadvertently hurt people and stuff, but... Yeah, I've never gotten in a group, and I guess there was one time, there was this kid nobody liked, and we were all at Boy Scouts, and we kind of chased him around, threatening him. I guess I've done it. Oh, here we go. Gotta hide the cig so I don't look like a total pig. Hey! Boo! Boo! What do you say? You made your own costumes. Holy crap!
Whatever.
No, it's cool. You didn't buy a Spirit Halloween costume.
No. Yeah.
You did your own stuff. That's really cool.
We did our own makeup because it was supposed to be ICP.
Oh, Insane Clown Posse, huh?
Yep.
Yeah, with the hatchet.
Like on the first people.
My anus. Oh no, just take one each. Because I'm running out. All right. Well, you know what? Go ahead. Take another one.
What?
Yeah, because I'm not getting so many of you guys.
Really?
Yeah. So you know what song I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Eminem pulled a gun on him for that. I heard.
Mhm.
It wasn't loaded though.
Yeah. It wasn't loaded though.
Yeah. That's funny. The guy who's the master of words gets so pissed off that somebody made fun of him, right? Mm-hmm. You think he'd have the words to make fun of him back?
Yeah.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, I got some. That was cool. Insane Cloud Posse, huh? Let's see if there's any comments. This is kind of fun, actually. Thank God I'm not competitive. World Series update. Dodgers 3, Toronto 1. Oh, thanks, Rita. Oh, I forgot about that. Man, Carlton, thank you. I love baseball. Baseball and boxing. Even though I sucked at baseball, I was okay at boxing. I was better at holding pads for people, really. I can still do it in the chair, actually. For kids, you know. But, yeah. I don't know. I hit good in baseball. When I got a hold of the ball, I fucking... Oh, excuse me. I freaking jerk it out there, but... Yeah, I should turn that on. Thanks for the update. I forgot. I totally forgot. Who do you want to win? Bottom of the 8th. It's almost over. I better go get my remote and turn it on. God knows I watch enough gangstalking channels. So I like all, I'm never going to say anybody's a fake or not. I don't know. You know what I mean? I'm assuming there probably are some. But I mean, who am I to call someone fake? They could call me fake. I mean, I don't know. But I enjoy all of them. And I feel like it's kind of a community. Like, you kind of know these people. Like, you know them through YouTube. And you've been watching them for years and having little conversations with them for years. So it kind of feels like a little family, in a way. Like a little cyber family. Uh-oh, we got another one.
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat. Smell my feet. Give me something good to eat. What are you, Roman soldier?
Close. An archangel.
An archangel. Close.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought you were grabbing one for him. You know what? You get another one too, since she was greedy.
She always is.
What are you supposed to be, a rapper?
49er fan.
49ers fan? Oh, the big gold chain. She got a clock. Done like 80s rap.
Thank you.
Thank you. Guys, have a good night. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, like a cyber family or whatever. It's like, I don't agree with everything they say. But I still like them and listening to their take. And it's good because then you don't feel so alone. You're like, oh, somebody else is getting fucking tortured too. Isn't that swell? It's like commiserating. That's what they call it. We all get to commiserate. Oh, man. I mean, I guess I can mention some of them. You know what I mean? Like, because I think about it a lot. It's like some of them are really good people. Like let's say like a Lorraine from Alternative Homesteading. Like, the interactions I've had with her, like, it was through email and stuff, basically. But damn, she seems like a very stable, nice person when I've interacted with her. Just very nice, very stable. You know what I mean? And she has a little bit of a personality on the live stream that, I don't know, she seems a little different in email conversations, like a little more, I don't know, she seems like a nice lady. I talk to Dr. De Facto sometimes, he's a pretty cool guy to talk to, get him rambling. Sometimes he leaves me in the dust, though, when he starts, like, doing math on, like, biblical math, and it works out, but he, like, rattles it off so fast, I'm just like, what? I'm not a math guy. You take 33 away from 72, and that goes right to 33 AD, or something. You're like, what? But no, he's a cool guy. I like talking to him. Let's see, who else do I watch? I watch Carlton when he puts out a video. He's here. His are always pretty good. Yeah, he just seems like a sweet, nice guy. Like, why would you want to bother that guy? I don't know. But, I mean, you don't know any of them in real life. I mean, maybe somebody's pissed somebody off. I don't know. I know I've pissed a lot of people off, but not to, like, the extent of, like, doing that to somebody. The kind of pissed off I've done to people, it's more like, yeah, you'd maybe slash a tire. Not even, like, put sugar in the gas tank pissed off people. I've never done anything like that to anybody. I've always paid my debts, I mean, you just heard me talking shit. That's about the worst of it. I'm like, oh, that guy's pretty nice, I try not to talk bad about anybody, even when somebody else is doing it. They're sitting there, I hate this guy, blah, 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 blah. He does this, and he's like that, and I'm just like, oh, well, I'll try to bring up a good point. I'm like, well, at least he does this. And the funny thing is when people are doing that, you'll be in like a Denny's, and they'll be talking crap about the person. The person will walk in, and they'll get up, oh, hey, Jim, how you doing? And it's like, you were just talking saying how much you hated the guy and everything, and there's my buddy. You know. Yeah, I don't know. I think mostly like a lot of stuff doesn't happen to me anymore because I think I just got so good at ignoring it. I turned into like Teflon. I just, like it slides off. Someone's like by me, and I notice it, but I don't really care anymore. Oh, let's see. What does this say? I can't read that far away. Nicholas, my neighbor, is so bad they don't even deliver pizza over here anymore. Oh, wow. Damn, that's pretty bad. If one of your trick-or-treaters was wearing a clock, they were dressed as a rapper Flava Flav. That's right, Flava Flav. I couldn't come up with it. It was so bad in my memory. I'm like, I was a little kid. Flava Flav. That's right. That's right. That's back when rap was a little more. I remember it back when they just kind of like had like story songs and they weren't really like bad or dirty or anything. It was like DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Yeah, it was pretty tame. And they had the movie Disorderlies. Who was that? Was that Run DMC in that, or I can't remember. Disorderlies. I remember that. That was a good one. A funny movie. Yeah, I wish I had some huge insights, but I don't know. I mean, what are you gonna do about it? I mean, they have a voice in your head, right? You can't run from it. You know what I mean? And mine was like debilitating. I mean, it literally turned me retarded for like a year. Like seriously, I think I had the IQ of a child, like walking around like, ooh, you know. And I heard it before when I was like a teenager a couple times. One time in juvenile hall, I got in a fight on the bus and I accidentally beat up a cop's kid and I got sent to juvenile hall. Anybody else would have got detention. But of course I hit a cop's kid, so I went to juvie. And I heard it one time in there and they were telling me to match the tines and they were playing these high noises going wee, 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 wee. And I kind of like did it in my imagination. They're like, oh, good job. It went away. And I think they did that to me a couple times in my life just so when they really hit me with it, they're like, match the tines. And I was doing it, and they're like, we're not going away, because you think they're going to go away. Because they programmed me to think they were going to go away at that point, but no, they don't go away. I don't know. I guess I've been on for 22 minutes. I'm kind of boring, because I don't do a lot of live streams. Dentists give out sugarless gum and dental floss to trick-or-treaters. That's a good idea. I mean, somewhat healthy. Uh-oh.
Trick or treat, motherfucker.
That's so real.
Excuse me. You guys are on candid camera.
Wow.
Yeah. Let's see. I got you now.
Whoa.
Andrew came by his own house. Hey, no, you're not double hitting me. There was another plague doctor.
I didn't come here yet.
No, I know. There's another plague
No,
doctor.
like he's gonna
You're
be
much
on
sharper
it.
dressed than him.
Yeah.
More
was about to
sharply
say.
dressed than him. You look better. Thank you.
Yeah, you do. You look way better.
Well, good night. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Good night. Nice kids. I haven't been called a motherfucker in a long time, Yeah, it's fun. I think Halloween's fun. I kind of enjoy giving out the candy when I was able-bodied. Now, I'm in a wheelchair, so I can't do Halloween like I used to. But when I was able-bodied, man, I would hide up in a tree with like some stupid, like a whisk or an egg beater, like the kind where you go gee and the two egg beaters go together. And when they come up, I'd jump out of the tree going gee. And it was so funny because people would freak, man. They'd scream, ah! And even dads. I made a dad one time squeal like a girl coming out with a little egg beater like that. And his fist came up, and then when he saw it was an egg beater, he started laughing his ass off. That was most people's reaction, Or, a whisk or something. Once they figured out it wasn't a knife, because they're all scared. You jump out of the tree, and they see a knife, Yeah, I can't do stuff like that anymore. I mean, I could probably devise a way, like hide behind a bush and roll out, like, all silent or something. Oh. Wow, I got one person left. I had like 14. They all dropped out. They were like, this guy sucks. Oh, man. I guess I should have wrote some notes or something. I just thought it'd be fun to trick or treat live. Oh, let's see. I was talking shit about other targets. Let's see. Lorraine, she's a nice person. DeFacto's a nice person. Let's see. Who else do I watch? I watch Carlton. Because he's here. I don't have anything bad to say about him. See, I'll tune into King Justice because sometimes he has something edifying. But sometimes he's just kind of begging for money, which I don't blame the guy. Everybody needs a hustle, but I don't know. I like his channel all right. I don't think he likes me too much, but... You know, because, like, I don't know. I think too many of his fans, like, kiss his butt. You know, it's a bunch of girls like, oh, Justice, don't quit. Here's money. Here's some money. It's like, yeah, get a job, punk. You know, really. I mean, I'm fucked up in a wheelchair. I work a 9 to 5, and then, like, listen to some guy act like he's above everybody and doesn't need to work a 9 to 5. It's like, well, cool. You know, I hope that rap thing goes good for you, but, you know, you shouldn't look down on people who work a 9 to 5. Anyway, that's the worst I'm going to talk. I like the guy, though. He's all right. He has edifying things to say because he has plenty of time to think about it. And, you know, he's very good at doing this kind of thing on YouTube. He's pretty good at rapping, according to my, you know, kids and their friends. They're like, no, he's good. You know, I don't think I'm an authority on that, on rap. Not that I hate it. It's just, it's kind of like country western to me. It's like so aimed at one group of people, a specific type of person. And no, not race, doesn't have anything to really do with it. You know what I mean? Because, like, you know, some of the most ghetto people I know look like me, but country western, same thing. You know what I mean? It's just so, like, tailored to one specific kind of thing. I can't really get into it. I mean, it's cool to listen to for like a few songs, either of them, like 3 country western songs, 3 rap songs, you know, thrown in a mixer. And don't bother me, that's fine. But like when it's nothing but rap or nothing but country western, it's just like, okay, you know. Same thing with like classic rock though. Everybody's like, oh, the classics were better. It's like, well, yeah, dude, because you're going back through the decades and picking the best song from every year and playing it, you know. Of course it's all going to be good, you know. Well, yeah, nothing's going on tonight though. I mean, earlier I smelled burning plastic, but anything that happens tonight, you got to attribute it to kids screwing around, you know. I just, yeah, I don't know. I think getting crippled kind of helped me with the targeting too, to tell you the truth, because I realized I can't fight back or run from them anymore, so I just don't bother with them. I don't pay attention to them. It's weird. Like, I thought I'd never get over it too. I thought I'd be like traumatized for the rest, and I am somewhat, you know. But like, if I notice like a car with a one headlight now behind me, I don't care. I figure they're not following me, and I was just sensitized to react that way. You know what I mean? I mean, at one time they had me thinking everybody with a red shirt was after me, for God's sakes. And it's like, no, sometimes somebody just has a red shirt on. You know, but they do, like, play games to get you sensitized that way. I'm not saying nothing has happened, you know, but I don't know. Just, they've done it to me so much, it's like, it only works for so long, you know what I mean? That's why, like, some of these channels I'll watch, and these people are still freaking out over some of this stuff, and I'm just like, come on, man, it's bullshit, you know? Car with one headlight. Some people have headlights that burn out, you know? Sometimes they are messing with you. Like, when I was homeless walking around up and down the street, they'd have cars with 5 one headlighters in a row, lined up in a row, past me. And then as they passed me, you could tell they were, like, toggle switching the other headlight on. So they'd have 2 headlights, and then they'd go down and turn around. And they'd turn around, and all 5 of them would face me again. And as they started coming by me, one by one, their lights would toggle off. 5 in a row. You know what I mean? That's not happenstance, you know? I've seen some weird stuff, you know, that I mean, I can't even get into it because it's hard to explain, like, projections in the sky. I mean, I don't know if that was, like, brain V2K, they were making me see stuff, or by that point I was actually so distressed I was hallucinating, or if they really projected it in the sky somehow. I don't know. I haven't seen anything like that for a long time. You know, they do shadow plays in houses across the street from me. I'd look in the window, and they would show, like, yeah, pretty perverted stuff, actually, in the shadows of the house. Like, you know, there'd be, like, a curtain drawn. You could see shadows. And they were doing, like, you know, some perverted, weird stuff, like 3 or 4 people. You know, and it was like they were trying to make me jealous or something. Like, oh, this is so-and-so. You like them. And look what they're doing with somebody else you like or something. It's just really weird games like that. And I don't know if that was real, if there was somebody in the house doing that, or if they made me see that, you know. I don't know. But, I mean, I just stopped paying attention to even that stuff, which was, like, mind-blowing, you know what I mean? Mind-blowing. You're like, you know, watching people do this creepy shit on the street in front of you. Mind blowing. There goes the cop. And they were fucking with me too out here. Now they're super nice to me now that I got hurt. Before they were, you know, oh my god. I'd come into this little, you know, bedroom community down here, and they'd roll up on me. How's it going, Mr. Bauserman? How you doing tonight? We told you not to come back down here in Lockwood. I swear to God, dude, this is like Virginia City County out in Nevada, you know, like you know, Silver Rush, like Virginia City's county. So it's literally the Wild West out here still. I mean, they're crazy. I mean, the first time they arrested me out here, they didn't even like announce they were a cop. They just ran up and started patting me down because I was walking down the street and someone called them saying I was acting weird. And it's like, I wasn't acting weird. I was walking down the street looking at the stars and stuff. I mean, unfortunately, I did have something I wasn't supposed to have in my pocket. Maybe I was acting a little weird, but you can't really like run up and arrest somebody on hearsay that they were acting weird. Oh, he's acting weird. You know, oh, I'm going to run up and frisk him and... But now they're all sweet to me. Oh, I like this version of you better. It's like, oh, really? You like the version of me not walking better? Thanks a lot, dude. Fucking assholes. Anyway, let's see. I got a new one. Honey traps wearing short shorts came at me hard during the confusion stage. Oh, yeah, I bet. Yeah. No, I had honey traps, yeah, and I'm a deviant, so I had all kinds of honey traps. Like, different kinds are... Yeah, I mean, yeah, it was weird. Very weird. You know, couples honey trapping me and stuff. Yeah, I understand that. Yeah. Yeah, all of a sudden, everybody's attracted to you. Yeah, I mean, there was like a golden stage before it happened, too, where like I had my own business and I was getting work like crazy and making all kinds of money and doing really good. And then all of a sudden, all my jobs dried up at once. You know, right when it started happening, too, because I noticed like all these cars, I mean, they had like 1,000 horsepower engines circling my house. You know, 700 horsepower, 600 horsepower. I mean, we're talking some expensive custom cars with loud engines circling my house all day. And the other neighbors were complaining to the cops about it, and they didn't do nothing about it. You know, they started doing that for like a month. I mean, one of my neighbors moved out over it, you know. And I didn't know it was at me. I remember one day thinking, is that about me? And I'm like, that's crazy. And I kind of enjoy things like that. So I was like, yeah, dude, you know, that thing's badass, you know. But, like, all of a sudden my job's dried up, so I'm at home all day with plenty of money still. And the cars are circling me, and then dirt clouds get started thrown off my house, and then the V2K started. And that's when it all went to hell, because I freaked out. I was jumping up on my roof looking for them. Where are they? I have a 38 in my hand looking for the people, like, doing stuff to my house. And because the V2K, I thought it was just people talking outside of my house at first. I didn't realize, you know, it was like, you know, put into my head. I thought people were like walking around my house talking shit about me. I'd run out there looking for them. I'd hear people running across my roof. Thum, 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 thum. So I'd go out there and jump on the roof and see who was out there. And all my neighbors are like, what are you doing on your roof with a gun? I mean, that is the point of it, is to make you look crazy, right? So you have to act more normal. Oh, I'm down to 1. I got 8 likes. That's kind of cool. Considering I don't do this kind of thing, I'm not very good at it. I mean, I'm not nervous about it. I don't know. Oh, here we go. Oh, let's see what we got here. Let's see what costumes we got here. Oh, shit. Dropping stuff.
Trick or treat.
Hey.
Hey, man.
What's up? What are you?
Oh, I'm Huey from the Boondocks, just in a girl version.
Oh, okay.
I'm Riley, the girl version too.
All right, I've seen the Boondocks. I get it now. My friend came over once and made me watch like a marathon of it. It's pretty funny. Hey, Puppy. Hey, Puppy.
hi, Rogue.
Hey.
Have a good Halloween.
Yeah, happy Halloween, guys.
You too.
Thank you.
Hi, Rogue. Wait.
Well, I think trick-or-treating is going to end. All the older kids are coming now. To tell you the truth, I think those two could have put a little more effort into it, maybe. Just a little more. I mean, it's not really a costume. You can't put on overalls and a bandana around your head. Oh, I'm so from the Boondocks. I mean, come on, a little makeup, something. It's acceptable, though. That's pretty creepy, Andrew. Uh-oh. What do we got going on here? Carload of people. I'm all dead air. Sorry. Nah, we'll do some fake gangstalking videos. Look, they're after me. Oh my God, there's a car parked in front of my house. No, I'm just kidding. Oh. I mean, what is there to say after you've said so much about it anyway? Yeah, like I always see people doing that. What happened to James Harkin? Where is James Harkin? It's like the guy made very good, interesting, informative videos. It kind of disappeared because what's he going to do? Repeat himself over and over again? You know? I'm satisfied what he gave us. I still watch him once a month or so.
Trick or treat.
Trick or treat.
Hello.
There's 2 of you.
Yeah.
And there's 3 candy bars left. I know, I'm going to have to break out the Fig Newtons pretty soon. I was thinking about cutting those in half with scissors. Oh, you gave him one. All right. Who are you?
I'm Cusco from First New Groove.
From what? First New
Emperor's
Groove?
New Groove.
Oh, okay. And you're...
I just wore my dirt bike outfit.
You're a dirt biker.
Yeah.
But you ride dirt bikes anyway.
Yeah.
He's not very inventive. I think I should get the last bar. Because I have an actual costume.
Oh, man, I got to give it to one more person. I hate
Yeah.
that. All right, I'll bust out the Fig Newton. You know what? Watch this. You want to see her get mad?
Yes, please do it.
Whoa.
I'm going to hit him. Thank you.
Yeah.
Have a nice
She's been
night.
saying that all night.
You got 2. You can't trick me now. God, I love Halloween. My lord, I'm going to have to put Fig Newtons in here now. That's cheap crap, man. Fig Newtons. I'm doing it so the kids are healthy. All right. See this smooth tracking shot? None of the other Target channels have smooth tracking shots like this. All right. See how long the Newtons last. Swishman. Swishman. Ooh. Tracking shot. I know I'm supposed to talk about gang stalking. You know, Fig Newtons. Lucky teenagers. Anyway, I guess, yeah, you got to rise above it, kind of, which is tough to say. It's weird because, like, that's what everybody told me. Like, the people who did believe me when I told them, they were like, dude, why can't you just ignore that? Because they can't understand. You're like, oh, people are going at me, and it's, like, driving me nuts. And they're just like, that's driving you nuts? Because you're not about to be like, oh, yeah, and they're telling me in my head that all kinds of sick, weird shit in my head that you can't repeat because it'll make you sound like a weirdo. But, yeah. So they say, just ignore it. And it's like, just ignore that, you know. But I found, because I was like, I went through all the advice I got on it, you know. I started reading the Bible more, you know, being a little more spiritual, you know, talking to God a lot. Of course, I'm sure God's really happy about that too. It's like, yeah. Oh, you don't talk to, I prayed every night. Okay, I did. I said my prayers every night like I did when I was a little kid, but I didn't have like a personal relationship with God. I think I do more now a little bit because, you know, I'll just get like that feeling sometimes and start praying, you know. And I found like if you live by the teachings of Christ, you're not going to screw up too bad, you know. You're not going to hurt anybody or yourself. So that, and through like using the teachings of Christ and using that as spirituality, my son's trying to scare me. I learned to rise above gang stalking, believe it or not. Dee-dee-dee. Dun-dun, dun-dun, ding, 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 ding. He's dressed up as Michael Myers. I had to do that. Dun-dun, dun-dun, dee-dee-dee-dee. Tommy, Tommy, get the door. Ah. Let's see. Updating at bottom of the 9th, 0 hours, 2 runners, the 2nd, 3rd. I should be watching this. I wear gang stocking t-shirts everywhere I go. Yes, I know. I watch your videos, man. Some of those shirts are good. Some people don't agree with your shirts. I'm like, why not, man? You know, that's a good way to deal with it, you know? I don't think I'm playing it right, though. Slick. I think I got that screwed up. It's in 5/4. I'm just trying to play by ear. Like, that's it. Yeah, it switches. It modulates. I'm not really. Thank you. I practice. Not much to do. Oh man, yeah, yeah, teachings of Christ. Seriously, like nothing wrong with Christ and believing in Christ, but I don't think that's all of it. You know what I mean? Like, you still got to live in the real world. So it's like stuff they're doing isn't supernatural. It's technology. Is it evil? Hell yeah, it's evil. It's the most evil thing that's ever been done. You know, to anybody like. And you know, it's so clinical. You could tell like whoever's behind it is this like clinical experiment. Like, we don't care how much pain you're going through. We just want to see the outcome. And then they like interfere with it so much too. They can't just do one thing and see how you react. They have to goad you along into being crazy. You know. There's that aspect of it too. But yeah, it's demonic. Definitely demonic. I mean, do demons get a hold of these people? Yes. Yes, they do. But it's not purely demonic. Because, I mean, I have demonic thoughts, you know? I mean, I try to suppress them as much as I can, you know? Do we got more? No, there's just lots of talking. They're talking about me. No, I'm kidding. You know what? That's what my point is, too, is even if they were, you know? Like, you got to reset back to before you noticed. Because when you notice is when you're being sensitized, right? And then you're reacting to everything. If you take it back, kind of like resetting the computer to like before you noticed, you don't really notice. You just like, oh, that was weird, you know. Oh, car has one headlight. Popeye hit the roof, you know. A lot of that kind of stuff, you can kind of like through practice kind of start ignoring and stop freaking out and stay calm and obey. No. But that sure had significance to me through my stalking. I thought they were part of it. It's like, keep calm and obey. People are behind it. No, I mean, I don't know. It's just, if you can learn to, like, ignore that kind of stuff, the worst stuff's easier to deal with. It leaves more room in your mind. And I think the worst thing you can possibly do is try to figure it out, you know, because they'll have you blaming your brother and your neighbor and your, you know, girlfriend and whatnot, you know. You'll be blaming everybody close to you. And to you, they'll seem in on it because you're like paranoid. Sometimes they are in on it. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they are for a little while, but they're not really complicit. Like I noticed a couple of my friends were in on it, but now they don't have to do it anymore or something, and they're still my friends and they don't do it to me anymore. It's really weird. It's like almost like someone forced them to do it somehow, you know? I don't know. I have a fig Newton. Well, I should do this more often. I have more to say, though. I mean, that's just my little tips. All I can say is like how I dealt with it, right? And a lot of stuff doesn't happen to me anymore. Like lately, I've had a few times where like 5 cars would drive by me and honk all at the same time. But my reaction was to go, hey, how's it going? Or if I recognize one of them, I'm like, hey, what's up, man? Like we've been friends for a long time. And they know what I'm doing. They're like, oh, this guy's being funny because he recognizes me. You know? They're like trying to be scary, standing around like, or, excuse me, like mad dogging me at a gas station. Yeah. It's like, when I was able-bodied, they didn't have the balls to mad dog too long. I gotta tell you that. They were like, oh, shit. I'd get out of my car. I was the type of idiot that'd get out of my car to get arrested if somebody was staring at me too long. It was like, you might be able to kick my ass, but we're going to find out if you keep looking at me like that. I don't care who you are, Even if I knew they could beat my ass, they'd be like, okay, you're going to have to do it then. I hope I bruise your knuckles, But now I'm disabled. I can't, act like that anymore. Which kind of, I could, but I'd probably get dumped on my back going, hee. Maybe. So yeah, I think getting put in a position like that just kind of taught me how to react to it better. There's nothing you can really do anyway. I hate to say that, you know what I mean? Yeah, you could try to write letters to Congress and call and stuff like that, but I don't know, man. Like people who call with stuff like that, they just kind of put them on the loony list, I'm sure there's a way to do it to where you don't look, I'm not saying don't do any of that, I'm not advising anybody to do anything or not do anything. But, I don't know, even talking about it with people that are like your old friends, they're just like, yo, you're fucking nuts. Like my oldest friends were like, oh, you need to stop doing drugs. You're nuts, and I'm like, I'm not on drugs, this is happening. And even on drugs, I'm not so out of it that I think people are following me around and doing this crap to me all day, you know what I mean? Like, that's not the kind of paranoia I experience from drug use. The drug use paranoia is like, oh, God, I don't want to go in the store because I'm all messed up. I don't want somebody to see me messed up. That was as far as it went with me, Yeah, I certainly didn't think, somebody was putting voice, my best friend, But later on, he kind of came around. He was like, yeah, I've heard other people talk about it. I get it. But the thing is, you could talk about it with your friends, but you can't talk only about that with your friends because they don't want to talk to you anymore. It's like it gets boring to them. And also, it's kind of scary if you're hanging out with somebody and they're like, yeah, dark forces are following me around. Now hang out with me all day. It's kind of like, well, if they have a sliver of belief, they want to get away from you after that. They're like, oh, that sounds kind of scary, man. I got to go home, Nah, nice. It looks like a double play. Oh, cool. God, I love baseball. I should be watching this. When's your gangstalking become of art? 2019. Halloween night. Well, a little before Halloween, but they gave me a fake reprieve. They're like, it's over. And the voices and the stalking went away and everything. And I moved out of my neighborhood. When I moved out of my neighborhood, because that's what I thought. I thought somehow the people in my neighborhood, because they're building all these rich restaurants, they were gentrifying Midtown Reno. It was like the ghetto, and we were all still there. And I thought they were trying to get all those people out of there. We call us those people, out of the barrio down there. I don't know if it's as bad as your neighborhood, Carlton. We still got trick or treaters once in a while, but it did get so bad one time with the tweakers out in the alley that I noticed when I moved in there were kids playing in the alley every day. You hear basketball ding 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 outside your window. Sometimes I'd open it and be like, there's a park right there. Give me a break, kid, But they were all out playing baseball and running around all the little barrio kids out in the alley. And then my kid would come visit and I'd send him off with the barrio kids to toughen him up, It's like, go play with those kids, You'll grow up 2 years in one day. But, no, they were good kids. I liked them. I let them play on my trampoline in the backyard and stuff. They come over, oh, Nick, is your kid here? No, can we play on your trampoline? I'm like, yeah, as long as none of your parents sue me when you hurt yourself, but I let them play on the trampoline. So they were a good bunch of kids, but they were like a pack of wild dogs in a way too. They were cool. I liked them, but there was a point where all the tweakers started tearing down cars and rebuilding them out there, and you knew some of the stuff was stolen and stuff, and there's just so much kind of rough kind of people out in the alley that the kids stopped playing in the alley, And that's before my targeting went overt, too. I noticed that. It was almost like that was on purpose. Get the kids out of here. So, I don't know. Yeah, it started 2019, and then I finally left because I had it in my head that people in the neighborhood and all the people gentrifying it, like the restaurant owners were somehow doing this to me because the voices lied and said, I'm this guy, and he was the restaurant owner over there. And the guy liked me. He wanted me to cook for him. And I was totally convinced that, the dude was after me, He was the cause of all of it. It was like, no, he wanted me to cook because I was a good cook in Midtown. Everybody knew me from the food truck circuit, Right, because I was a pretty good cook on a food truck. But, I mean, everything's within reach, so it's not hard to be a good cook on a food truck, really. And I moved, and then they acted like it stopped. They stopped it because it was like, oh, you moved, and you did what we wanted you to. And then I was out here, and then on Halloween night, it came back as soon as I stepped out the door with my 2 kids to go trick-or-treating with them. It was messed up. They were like, get away from those kids, you bad. I'm like, what? And I thought people could hear it, because I was looking around like, I mean, if anybody ever went nuts over that stuff, it was me. Trust me. I probably went nuttier than 90% of the people that have experienced it. I feel like we're sort of waiting for the rest of the world to wake up. Yeah, I think it is, too. Because, it's weird. Like, if I mention it now, more people believe it and have heard about it. And, I know somebody who experienced that. And the funny thing is I work at a place with a bunch of, they do rehabilitation rehab. Really, it's like they get cheap labor, you know what I mean? And a lot of the people there are schizophrenic. And, if I talk about gang stalking at break, there's like 3 heads like nodding along with me, Like, they'll tell me about, I'm schizophrenic, I hear voices. And one day I was like, yeah, I don't know if those are not put in your head. And they were like, 3 other guys were like, yep. And it's like, did you get followed around? Yeah, I got followed around. So, I mean, I work with like 3 people that have been gang stalked. But they're schizophrenic, so they're at a vocational rehab job, Which, like I said, is a bunch of crap. They just get cheap labor. They actually get kickbacks from the government and pay us like barely over minimum wage. It kind of sucks. I mean, I still like box things and palletize shit all day. It's like, I should be getting paid what other people get paid to do that. But no, you're disabled. We're going to pay you cheaper. It's like, oh, gee, thanks. Yeah, I thought in my old neighborhood, there were some, like the guy moved in across the street. He was the guy who gave everybody free dope, man. He just handed out free crystal meth to the whole neighborhood every time he got paid because he made good money. He'd come home with, a rock like the size of my fist. I'm not kidding, like bigger sometimes. And he'd sit there and just chip at it with something. And the screwdriver, he'd chip at it and hand the rocks out to everybody in the neighborhood, including me. He's giving it to me, and I didn't even use this stuff, but I'm like, at the time, I'm not like a saint, man. I was like, free drugs, okay, whatever it is, I'll do it, I started getting hooked on that. But he also had the whole neighborhood under his fingertips, and he would say weird things to me, like when he was leaving my house, he'd be like, hey, Nick, be careful what you think, because it's out there. And I was just like, okay, whatever, dude. And then later on, I found out, like, he wasn't lying, But, like, yeah, I think that was the guy who, like, orchestrated, I guess they would call that a handler. That was the guy who orchestrated the whole stalking thing with me because, he had a bunch of dope fiends at his mercy. Like, even if they felt bad about what they were doing, they're still going to do it to get drugs, Like, I get prescription drugs, and I'll tell you what, when I run out, I kill somebody's grandmother for one. No, I'm kidding, not really, but I get it, you know what I mean? I get why they did it. I don't really blame them. That's the other thing. I don't hold a lot of... It's weird, like, the truth is, holding all that grudge and hatred inside you just fucks you up, man. Like, hating somebody, it feels good, but it fucks you up. It's like a drug itself, hating, It is really better to, like, pray for your enemies. It's weird. It's, like, psychologically for you, it's better, I think. You know what I mean? Like I said, like, I'm not overly religious or anything, but, like, if you live by the teachings of Christ, and if everybody lived by the teachings of Christ, the world would be a better place, hands down, And there is a spiritual side to it. I'm not ignoring that. Don't get me wrong. I'm just not willing to blame demons because there are people behind it. And it's like, well, it's the demons controlling them. And I'm like, man, if I, see somebody who's good looking and I have a dirty thought about them, that was kind of a demon, right? I gave into a demon there. I'm not any better than these people. I didn't hurt anybody, but I still hurt myself by having like a dirty thought, What are your thoughts about how gang stalking is happening worldwide and very few people talk about it? Gang stalking is only talked about online. No, like I said, I'm like at my job, man. Like I can talk about it at my job because I work with people that are supposedly paranoid schizophrenics. I'm telling you, these people, there's nothing wrong with them, other than they got gang stalked, and a psychiatrist got a hold of them and told them it was all in their head. You know, and they're like, "Oh, I'm on meds and everything." I'm like, "But you were getting followed around and heard voices." Yeah. I'm like, "You don't think any of that was real?" No. You know, they're convinced. You know, and in public coffee shop settings, like it went from like when I'd talk about people are like you're just schizo to like people go no I've heard that but yeah I think like the general consensus is if like you hear a voice you're nuts you're gone you know what I mean like that's just how people think like and you can't blame them because I remember when I'd hear about like I used to be a fan of shows like Coast to Coast AM and I still like shows like that and every time they'd have gang stalking on I would turn the channel I would literally be like this is stupid. You know what? People wave at because the way they made it sound, it wasn't that scary. It's like people wave at me, people cough at me, and I'm like, so what? It didn't sound very scary until you go through it. Or I didn't think they were crazy though, but I think yeah, most people just like they start thinking, and the first question is why you? And if you're not very significant like me, I was a glorified janitor. Why are they following a glorified janitor around and doing this to him? And I mean, that was my question too. So, I mean, it kind of stops some people's brains right there. I think that's kind of why, because it's just regarded as your nut job, because people don't think that like technology like that exists or a thing like that exists. And they can't really wrap their head around it. You know what I mean? Because like for me, it was even tough to wrap my head around it. While it was happening to me, the whole thing was just like, why? I guess I went too far. But yeah. But I think people are waking up to it. I really do. I think, like, I notice as time goes on, like, since 2019, more people believe me when I talk about it. And you can always tell when someone's pretending to believe you or they believe you. And I've even run into a person that was like, yeah, I used to do that. I was talking to him about it. He was at a bus stop, and I was going to get some coffee. And I started talking to some other guy, and we were talking, and I somehow brought it up. And this kid goes, yeah, I used to gang stalk. I used to be part of that. I'm like, you don't do it anymore? He's like, no, man, no. I'm like, why? And he's like, well, once I realized, it's their narrative you're hearing. You don't get to hear the guy you're following around. You don't get to hear his side of the story. So he's like, I quit doing it. So apparently they could quit doing it, as he did. I mean, and he was talking about it like, anything else you'd talk about over coffee. Oh, yeah, I used to gang stalk people. And to tell you the truth, the guys in my alley got me to help them do it. I just was unaware of what I was doing, Like, oh, we're going to go get my truck back from this house it's at. And the guy was really there just to screw with this lady's truck, like cut wires on it and stuff. And I was his lookout. And the whole time I didn't like what I was doing, because I thought he was really going to, like, take his truck back from somebody. It was his truck, but he wasn't stealing anything. He was just vandalizing it. Yeah, experienced. I'm not sure, man. Experienced directed energy weapons, because sometimes I think they were trying to make me think they put something in my hat that would make my head get hot. And then the V2K would say, oh, we're radiating your brain. And I freaked out the first time I destroyed my little apartment. I lived in a flat at the time because I moved out of here into a flat. And I pulled the shower curtain down and broke a mirror. And I was freaking out because I thought they were melting my brain. I believed it, like an idiot. Until one day I was sitting there going, well, wouldn't I be acting like retarded or seizuring on the ground by now if they were really melting my brain? And then I was like, figured it out. I'm like, oh, I left my hat in my car, put it on, and my head started burning. And they were like, oh, we're melting you. It's a direct energy weapon. And to tell you the truth, I'm not too sure. I know they exist, and I'm sure it's happened to people. But some of the pictures I see of these direct energy weapons, it seems like it's a chemical burn and something like a V2K or something, which I know a lot of these targets I watch get, but they won't admit to it because they think it makes them look crazy, like saying you're, followed around isn't. Anyway, something convinces them that they're getting direct energy burns, and I think they're breaking into their house and putting chemicals in their clothing or something that burns them, because I think that's what they were doing to me. It's just like little chemical burns. So I would, I don't know. I'd have to say no, but I mean, I've gotten the twitching, and people say that's dew weapons too, but, where you flop in the middle of the night for no reason. I still think that's like a side effect from some chemical they put in you. I subscribe to the whole look out for Charlie thing, that they get a sensitizer in you. And I know they do, because shit was all over my skin. It was like crystal-like on my skin. It was like I was caked in like sugar water or something. It was really weird. And all these weird little like chemical spider webs were around my houses everywhere I went. I mean, there was some weird stuff like I haven't even heard other targets talk about. Like that weird like spider web material they had all around me. I mean, it was on my skin. It was on my house. It was in my lawn. It was on my fence. And I moved, and then it'd appear on my lawn and in my fence. And it's just weird. I don't know. It's like a spider web almost. It's really weird stuff, man. And like, I don't hear anybody talking about that. Or the water falling on my head. Looks like some kind of liquid. I'd be walking, and all of a sudden, bam, all this like liquid would hit my head. And at the time, I'm like, what, it rain in a little spot here or whatever? And I've heard another guy talk about they're dropping that shit from like weather balloons on us. Like they could find out how it's going to hit us. And I definitely had like water drops hit my head, and like sometimes whole splashes. They'd make a noise outside my house. I'd go out to investigate it. And all of a sudden, all this wet shit would hit me, and then the spider web stuff started happening. And all of a sudden, I started hearing voices. So I'm convinced in the sensitization with a chemical theory where they somehow like get a type of mold or something on you that can pick up radio signals. And that's how they do V2K, because, people would be dying of cancer. All the targets would be dropping dead of cancer if it was really, completely microwaves and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know how it works. I really don't, but I really subscribe to that whole theory where it's a sensitizer and just normal RF, because the stuff would have to be passing through everybody. They couldn't just target you with like a beam and follow you around it. It never breaks and it never screws up. That's impossible. It'd have to be a radio signal. And I mean, it does screw up once in a while, but I think if it was like satellite based and they were like beaming you somehow, I think it'd screw up more often, And it doesn't seem to. And I also think they use different kinds. Like, I think there might be like the real V2K, like the military grade stuff, because they own the Medusa weapon about 4 miles from my house. Is the company who owns the Medusa weapon. You can look that up. They have that, and then they got, they have like 3 ways of doing it. Plus they have the audio spotlight thing, where it's just like real directed sound. And I think they use like, a couple methods on me. Because there's like one where it's like, I can only hear it in background white noise. And then there's another one where there's just a voice. You know what I mean? And I think the background noise one's the worst, because you're like running a fan and you can hear them talking to you in the tone of the fan, Spooky shit, though, it is. And I don't, I wouldn't, want to go through that again, ever. I mean, I still hear it once in a while, but it's quiet. I have to listen for it, and I don't. That's the whole thing. You can't, if you experience that, don't have a conversation with it. I know it's tough, because you'll, slip back into it, but it's like, if you go years and years, like not slipping into talking to them, like really be hard on yourself, even if they say something funny or something interesting, just don't. And I know it's not like schizophrenia too, because they were telling me stuff that I couldn't possibly know. Like friends of mine had, a friend of mine, they had 2 brothers that I didn't know about. And then like a year later, I'm talking to them, and they're like, yeah, I have 2 older brothers. You didn't know that? And I'm like, yeah, I did know that. But you guys didn't tell me. Just stuff like that, or using words I had to look up in the dictionary. How is that possible if it's all from my mind, No, I don't think I directed energy weapons. I don't know. It's weird. I know they knocked me out before. They used to be able to just knock me out anytime they wanted to, like quick. And I mean, I wasn't a good boy at the time, so I'd be wired to my teeth, which I'm not proud of. I think it's a disgusting drug, but wired to the teeth, and they'd still make me just, eating, drinking water, full of energy, everything, and all of a sudden just boom, knock me out. knock me out while I was driving, wake me back up. You know, like while driving. I've had them knock me out while I was driving, and I drove from one side of the town to the other, like curbs, stoplights, everything. It was almost like they took control of my body while I was passed out. And then they would scream in my head to wake me up, so I'd hit the brakes. And then the light would turn green, we'd take off, and they'd knock me out again. And then they'd scream, and I'd wake up and hit the brakes. And it's like, how am I keeping the car on the road, you know? Yeah, I've definitely had them, like, do some weird stuff like that to me, you know? I mean, it's just evil. I mean, I don't, you know, and if it is an experiment, like, when does it end? I mean, how much data do you need? Like, how many people do you have to do it to realize what it does to people, you know? Anyway, I'm just psychobabbling at this point, I guess. I should probably get off here. I'm going to go watch the original Halloween at the movie theater tonight because I love movies. There goes the sheriff again. Anyway, just making sure the kids are safe. Yeah, I'm going to go watch the original Halloween tonight. It's a good one. John Carpenter. You know, that's good. That's a good one. It's intense. So, and I've never seen it on the big screen, I don't think. Maybe once, but last year was The Exorcist they were playing. That was good on the big screen. That's a very well filmed movie. I mean, evil as hell, you know, don't get me wrong. It's kind of blasphemous and all, but well made. And I mean, I think good kind of wins in the end of it, even though the priest died, but the little girl gets saved. So, you know, it's not too evil. But yeah, Halloween. Halloween's just regular, spooky movie. So that'll be fun to watch tonight, you know. It's good. Everybody deserves one good scare on Halloween, right? Bah! No, anyway, that was retarded. I don't know why I did that. Probably because I don't know what to say or do anymore, and I've just been psychobabbling the whole time, but I enjoyed reading the comments. With Jamie Lee Curtis? Yes, with Jamie Lee Curtis. One of her first movies, yeah. We're going to watch that one. PJ Souls is in there, too. You probably remember her. Right? PJ Souls, the girl from Stripes, and she was in a bunch of stuff like back then. A really pretty blonde lady. But yeah, PJ Souls and Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasence, one of my favorite James Bond villains. He's in there too. His overacting is magnificent in that movie. The evil is here, our evil is here, you know. So that's going to be fun. And I'll try to do one of these again and be more coherent. But thank you for listening to me. I appreciate it. And have a happy Halloween. And remember, don't react. Stay calm. Be Teflon. That's what it really gets to them. You know what I mean? Because I tell friends about it, and they're like, oh, I just go kick their freaking ass. But, you know, I used to hang out with boxers and dunderheads like that. I'd go kick their ass. I'm like, yeah, you get put in jail, dummy. That's what they want you to do. Good night, man. Have a good night. God bless.